Alright, so I'm going to be going over how to install the Tusk bar risers on the Klx230. See here I have a 10mm and the hardware they included along with the risers themselves. These are 7-inch variety. On my particular KLX, I've modified and installed the Trailtech kind of a custom mount where I put an aluminum bar. So we'll take all that off. It's just attached, but that'll be easy to remove. So in my tools that I bring on the bike, I have a couple of pannier bags. They're pretty small, just so I can fit them all in a nice little pocket and have every size just in case I have Buddy needs them, anything else. One of the problems is you get very little leverage, so you can actually put the two together to give yourself a little extra leverage just by linking them together. To give yourself, right like that, a little extra push or pull depending on which side you put it on, just so you have the full length of a full tool. That way you have two small ones, you can link them together. Just want to take note that the old bolts, you can see the length, and the new bolts. So in our case, for the Klx230, these will fit in without the spacers, so you shouldn't need the spacers. They won't bottom out. When you're first putting it together, you should put on the front just so it holds it in place, so you can do whatever adjustments. Just make sure you see the little demarcations there, the grooving. That's to hold it to keep from rotating while you're riding. Another big issue is the cables are quite tight. This isn't something people have brought up many times. The brake cables are basically tight, so do your best to, pull those into a better position. You really can't go much more than 7/8 on this without causing some trouble. So once we've got those in, we've kind of positioned everything, we've gotten our brake cables a little bit loosened up, we'll be ready to tighten. So a couple things. I have the manual here. I always recommend you get the service manual, not just your regular manual, but the service manual from the dealer. It costs like $100, but every day it'll make your life easier. So in this case, the bolt pattern, or the clamping pattern, is bolt in the fronts as far as possible, and then follow up by bolting in the more towards the rear of the bike. That'll leave a gap. That's on purpose. So that's how it clamps down. If it was a perfect fit, then it wouldn't be able to clamp down, you wouldn't be able to tighten it. But the important part also is 29 Newton meters or 21 foot-pounds of torque. So to do that, you're going to want a torque wrench and some type of Allen wrench tool. So once you have those, then it's pretty straightforward to get your torque down. You're just going to torque it down starting with these two bolts, put in the other ones, and these two bolts. Now in my case, I'm going to also attach this in the back, which I don't recommend you do because, whatever, but that's pretty much it. After that, you have your raised height. Very important though is really double, triple check that you're not pinching, pulling, or hurting anything in your brakes. It's really important that you don't get a pinch or a pull, or you're hurting any of the tubing. It can cause you to crash and die. So please be very careful. Alright, so here I have everything installed. This is just hand tight. The goal is to be able to easily loosen it up and move it around. You don't want to rotate once it is tight, because you can shear off the little gradations in the handlebars and make it fall forward and backward, just like an old BMX bicycle. Don't yank on it or you'll strip it. So same thing, make sure everything looks aligned and is good. Once you have it all set up and it's in your favorite spot, then you can start doing your torquing. Remember, again, that's the two front and then two back. These are 29 Newton meters or 21 foot-pounds, and that's pretty much it. Make sure you double check your torque, and make sure you give her a good push around before you do anything serious with it. Make sure that there's no pinching or other issues with the cables.